Okay, shalom. This is Melech, and just a very quick video, just a minute or two. And so I'm sitting here with a couple of very close friends, and we're driving through some of the streets of New York City, and just lamenting at what a complete shithole this place is. I mean, could you imagine that children need to grow up like this? There's just stores and concrete and buildings on top of each other. You know, where are the streams? Where are the forests? Where are the lakes? You know, and this is horrible. It's like torture. And so we wonder why in these big cities, these big American cities, or any big city, there's so much depression, there's so much suicide, there's so much crime, there's so much drug abuse, alcohol abuse, pharmaceutical drug abuse, so much obesity, so much television watching, all these kinds of horrible things. And you look, these children who grow up like this are literally deprived. They're deprived of the basic things. If you take an animal and deprive it of water and its natural habitat and lakes and rivers and forests or deserts or wherever they live, then that would be considered animal abuse. That would be considered animal cruelty. Well, we're much more than animals. We're human beings. And look at this dump. Look at this disgusting shithole. How people have to live and how they have to grow up, and deprived of the basic things of open space to run, and fresh clean water and fresh air and forests and trees and big open sky and all this kind of stuff. So I always say that the city is basically a concentration camp. It is a concentration camp. People are brought off of the land, urbanized, brought into the big cities where they can be controlled, experimented upon, dominated, watched, brainwashed, all of this kind of stuff. And there are actually I really believe that people are brought into the cities, you know, for various reasons in countries. The first thing, it gets complicated, so I'll just say it very quickly. The first thing is when people are concentrated in a large city, they can be, as I said, they can be monitored, and they can be controlled, and they can be brainwashed. So a large dump piece of crap, garbage city like this, New York City, it's actually a concentration camp. It's not a constant death camp or something like that, although it kind of is a death camp, because people are dying of drug abuse, people are dying of alcohol abuse, people are dying of obesity, pharmaceutical drug abuse, all kinds of horrible things, depression, they're antidepressants, you know. So it kind of is almost a death camp, you know, but at the very least it's a concentration camp. It's a labor camp where people have to work these ridiculous hours to live in these squalid, horrible conditions. And this is supposedly like the pinnacle of American civilization, or the pinnacle of modern civilization. It's a joke. It's a farce. It's disgusting. And people are so brainwashed, are so into this lifestyle that they don't even know. Okay, in this past election, you saw two types. You saw two Americas. You saw urban America, and you saw rural America. And it was pointed out many, many times that it's almost like there's two different countries. Okay, two totally different mentalities. And there are two totally different mentalities. Why? Because the people who have been urbanized and taken off the land and forced into large cities to live in these disgusting, squalid, crowded conditions where they're overworked, controlled, monitored, you know, over-medicated. It actually changes a person's mentality. They become a different person. They become mentally ill. They become sick. They become disconnected from themselves. They become disconnected from Yehovah, from God. They become disconnected from the land. And it's almost like they create a new society, a new way of thinking, which is an unnatural way of thinking. And the people in the cities are themselves, they think this is the pinnacle of thinking. This is the new world, the enlightened liberal thought. Live streams and trees and forests. That's primitive. That's the old way. The new way is this, you know, to disconnect from our animal, you know, past and live like this is what's considered enlightened and intellectual and reaching the top, right? Moving on up, to the upper, to the east side, This is a shithole. Look at this place. Just look at this dump. Look at this dump. It's just, look at it. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's child abuse to have any child grow up like this, okay? So the land has been taken away from the people, and the land has been given to the government, to rich landowners, to the industries that need it, that take advantage of it, like the food production industry, the large agribusinesses, the large factory farming operations, the government itself, rich landowners, and all the rest of the people have been concentrated into the city, where they're actually being used as social and medical experiments. You think I'm joking? I'm going to give you an example, okay? I just read an article the other day, not about this city, New York City, which is, I think, really, truly, I've been to a lot of cities. New York City is the most disgusting city I've ever seen in my entire life. It really is, okay? But this is about another disgusting city called Los Angeles. And the article was about how, I'm trying to remember what it was. They're building tunnels or something like that. I can't remember. It was some kind of social experiment. Oh, it was some kind of social experiment. Oh, I remember what it was. I think they were talking about the traffic, and they were now going to build tunnels to kind of like bypass the traffic and cut down the horrible traffic. I can't remember exactly what it was. It's not the point. The point is, what they're doing is, instead of telling, the proper solution would be reduce the population of the city. This country has a huge amount of land mass, okay? Send the people out of the cities, put them back on the land, give them more land, give them farmland, let them grow their own food, let them produce their own food. But of course that would threaten the agribusiness industry, would threaten a lot of different industries that, that benefit from people being concentrated and enslaved in the large cities. But the point is, that Los Angeles was going to use this as a kind of experiment. Like, they're kind of like doing social experiments, it's technological experiments, and so they need people concentrated in a lot of people concentrated in a small area to be able to do these technological and social experiments. So people are actually being used as for experimentation, for psychological, medical, and technological experimentation in these large cities, and they're being told, they're being lied to, the people are being lied to, that this is somehow the pinnacle of life. Okay, this is a travesty. I hope people wake up. Thank God in this election, the people that won the election were the ones who were still more connected to the land, the small towns, the farmland. Look how how nervous people are. They're constantly honking, angry. There's so much anger, and there's so much road rage and anger and all this kind of stuff. So the people who are still connected to the land, who are still connected to themselves, they're the ones who somehow were able to eke out the win in this particular election in this country known as the United States of America, and that represented the victory of, shall we say, rural America over urban America. Of course, everyone in urban America complained about the electoral college, because through the popular vote, let's say that the vote count was correct, which is also maybe not the truth, but let's say it was. So Donald Trump lost the popular vote, they say, and Hillary won the popular vote, but she won because of all the people concentrated in the large cities. Well, the whole electoral college was set up in order to prevent large concentrated populations ruling the entire country. It was set up just like the Senate, right? The Senate has 2 people from each state. It doesn't matter if it's Wyoming, where there's a population of 500,000, or if it's California, where there's a population of, what are they up to now, 35 million? Something like that. The idea is that each region has its own interests, and so they have equal say based on not population, but based on the fact that they are a political entity, a way of thinking, shall we say, in and of themselves. So the whole idea of trying to get rid of the electoral college is a farce. The whole idea of the electoral college was created was specifically to prevent people in large concentrations from ruling over everybody else in the entire country. Okay, that being said, it's neither here or there. Okay, the point is, if you live in a city, wake up. You are living in a concentration camp. You are living in a dump. You are living in a shithole. This is the only life you know, so you don't even know it. Maybe some of you have barely ever even seen a stream or a river or a forest or a lake. If you have, you go there and visit maybe once a month, once a year, twice a year, or something like that. I would say get out of the cities, get back on the land, get back connected to nature, get back connected to the land, get back connected to yourself, and get back connected to God, to Yehovah. And that's my brief message for today. This has been Melech Ben Yaakov of Karaite Insights. Hope you enjoyed the message.